You know, if I took away the podcast and if I took away movies and film and television, I took away anything and I just focused on stand-up, it would be scary. Because I was scary with everything going on. Could you imagine if you withdraw everything and just focus on stand-up, like a Dave Chappelle? People want to know why Dave Chappelle is so good. You don't have to do 10 podcasts a week. You don't see Ali Wong doing a podcast. You know, we just jumped on it. We thought it was the hip thing to do. It don't work for people. But look at the people that just focus on stand-up. When you start stand-up, you want to be around people who just focus on stand-up. Not fake people in your open mic scene. That's why you go to a better open mic scene. You start at your open mic scene, they give you a little shit, you get kicked in the head a few times, you get drunk in public, nobody wants to fucking talk to you no more. You got to move to another fucking open mic city. And that's where you get strengthened. I started in Denver, but I strengthened up in Seattle. That's where I became a fucking feature act. And then I moved to Los Angeles, which made my trek a lot easier. Now listen, Chris D'Elia walked into the Comedy Store the first time and got on stage. God bless him. You know, I'm not mad at Chris for that. I know a lot of people who started in Los Angeles and they're very successful today. But when you look at how many to the compare success, you'll go, yeah, I get it. It's a small percentage. Why? It's such a, and you know, you as a human being, as a comedian, as a business person, you play percentages. Where can I be the strongest that I can be? If I move to LA, I'm going to be at 10%. But if I move to a city like Seattle to develop, I'm going to be at 50%. There's more of a chance for me to grow there. There's more of a chance to meet more people, to start from the ground floor with a booker. In LA, people run out there to be famous and to be rich and to be superstars, and they run into that. No, guys, you go somewhere else and develop. You read all these. I was reading somebody's story the other day. They were doing a traveling fucking theater till 6 years ago. You know, whatever. What's that thing called when you go from town to town and do like, I don't know, some fucking, no, like a production. Like a production of, I don't know, Chicago that travels across the country. Like you do two shows. It's like comedy tour. It's like a comedy tour. You know, can you imagine doing that for acting? The acting strength that you're going to come out. They've always said that when you do theater, if you really want to do acting, like if you really want to act, not be famous, you got to break all this shit up. Not be on hanging on with Jay Leno and hanging on Jimmy Kimmel. If you just want to learn to act, you could do a play. But Joey, it don't pay. Nothing pays. Crime pays in the beginning, but that don't pay. That's not going to fucking pay you in the beginning. You're going to get $10 a week plus per diem. But the money doesn't matter if you really love acting. If you really love stand-up, like I love stand-up. I did. In the beginning, I didn't care about money. I didn't get into this to be fucking rich. I got into this to fucking do something with my life. And God forbid, I stuck with it and something happened. You know what the percentages of that are. You know, if you play percentages, what are they? What are they for me to really start in Boston, move to New York, develop, and then become a big fucking comedy star in LA? The percentages are against you. But if you got heart and balls and if you do it correctly and work smart. I was a stupid motherfucker, but for some reason with comedy, I learned how to work smart. For years, I was just a Irakawa, you know, like some fucking crazy Indian. But it's when you start working smart and start planning your fucking moves that you see that growth immediately. Listen, with jiu-jitsu, I was going to jiu-jitsu for fucking 4 years in LA. I was getting beat up every fucking day. I still get beat up every day here. But the same thing happened with my jiu-jitsu lately. Since I don't have to do 10 podcasts a week, get on a plane on fucking Thursday, write comedy, do all this shit, I'm absorbing more jiu-jitsu because it's the less I got to focus on. So you young comics that are doing a podcast early on and are doing stand-up, listen, it's great. I think you're doing the right fucking thing because whether your podcast succeeds or not, at least you tried it. At least you know what the fuck is going on. And if it don't work your second or third year in comedy, I guarantee you one thing. It'll work your seventh year in comedy because you're more experienced. You know what more to do. I'm very happy how I picked apart my career. You know, I see a lot of comics now putting improv sets on Instagram. Listen, I'm not mad at you. You do what the fuck you want. It's your career. But nobody wants to pay $25 to see a game of chance. Do you follow what I'm saying to you? Don't get me wrong. The first 3 years of comedy, I spoke to the audience. And then when I moved to New York, that's a really bad habit that you pick up in New York, is speaking to the fucking audience, okay? When these people put up these reels of speaking to the audience, it's great. You're getting on stage. I'm proud of you. But everybody's doing that shit. Why are you putting that reel up of you talking to the audience when everybody's doing crowd work fucking chronicles? If you want people to come see you, you want to, yeah, no. Miss Pat does crowd work chronicles or something like that, and it's great. I love Miss Pat. But I see a lot of younger comics trying to do the same thing and put up sets with you doing straight comedy. Never mind that. You don't want them seeing you do that shit. That's what everybody's doing. But the people that are doing it have been doing it for 15 years. You're trying to do it at 3 years. So it makes, you follow what I'm saying? There's steps to this fucking thing. There's steps to this motherfucker. Do you understand me? But anyway, you pick your own decisions. Back to the Rogan thing, I love a lot of comedy clubs. There's some great comedy clubs in the country. I love Cleveland, fucking Milwaukee. I love the club up in fucking, whatever, Vermont, not Vermont. I don't even know, up by Boston, up there.
Maine?
Maine, not Maine, the other town. Got a great, Providence, Rhode Island. That's a great fucking club. The guy gives a fuck about you. You know, the Stand, Patrick, they do, you know, they fucking, the Gotham is fucking great. They take care of you. A lot of clubs you walk into, they go out of their way. They at least show that you're a little fucking happy, and that's all I've ever wanted. We'll end with that real quick. I got a break for a sponsor break here. Give me 3 minutes, and I'll be right back, cocksuckers. Back to the podcast. Anyway, what I was talking about was this. I got to talk about something else that was bothering the fuck out of me. I hope you guys, I gave you a 420 surprise. The 420 surprise was me going on Joe. I know that a lot of people have been bothering me. It's so weird. Whenever I start talking to Joe about getting on the podcast, it never fails. As soon as I hang up with Joe, I get a tweet. Have you spoken to Joe lately? It's time to get you back on Rogan again. Like, people fucking know when it's time again. I got like 20 things. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it last week, so I didn't say nothing. I wasn't sure. I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought I'd get to the airport and crap out and come home, and then Joe would be mad at me. But no, I was excited to go down there. It was fucking great going down there. The only problem was this, guys, and I've been talking about this, and I don't want to fucking harp on this shit, but I'm not going to be getting on a plane for a while. I will not be getting on a fucking plane for a while. You know, man, I don't like to get abused. I don't like paying to get abused.